Welcome, my friends. How are we going today? Welcome to Find You Fridays with me, Lorene, your host. Oh, goodness, I'm getting a little bit warm. Yay. Just turn the old little aircon on. All right. Okay, let me go and do some sharing out while I'm waiting for some beautiful people to come on board. And how are we going today? I know my week's been amazing. It has truly. It's been just one of those incredible weeks where I've just learned a lot. I've done a lot. And you found it. Happy days. Happy days. Here we go. I got Christmasified. Look. I sent you the YouTube link too. So there we go. Happy days. I love you too. I just finished listening to your message and I'm just like going, oh, don't make me cry. I've just got to get on to the show. So yes, all good. Hi, Sandra. How are you going, sweet pea? Just remind me, Sandra, where are you tuning in from? Because I can't remember. Yeah, I adore you too. I absolutely do. And one of these days, or I will get there or you'll get here and it'll be amazing. Melbourne. Excellent. Are you guys going to have really stinky hot weather too? Because I know we are. Oh, dear. We've got Christmas in 2 days' time, 2 more sleeps till Christmas. And let me just check. We've got 33 for our Christmas day. No, not feeling Christmassy at all. Well, I've got enough tinsel around me to make up for it. Oh, dear. Did you know the history with tinsel? Back in the days when Christmas had come back, thanks to good old Albert and Victoria, good old Queen Victoria, minus 25 degrees C. Oh, yeah, but at least you guys have got heating and you can put your clothes on. When you get past a certain point, there's only so much clothes you can take off. It just gets, and my house doesn't have air conditioning and it doesn't have fans apart from the pedestal fans. And oh, I'm glad you put the tree up. That's a good start. I'm really pedantic about my trees, and that's why it takes me so long to put up a tree. It's pretty much a good 4 to 5 hour job for me to put up my tree. But then again, I have like 2,500 lights that goes onto my tree too. So, oh dear, oh, I love it. Put that up into your brains for next year. We're heading for 42 on Boxing Day. Can you believe it? 42 degrees Celsius. Oh, thank goodness I'm house sitting at a place that's going to have air conditioning and like lots of coolness and I'm going to be chilled out. So yeah, I tell you what, my Christmas tree, I love my Christmas tree. I know the history of Victoria and her German king from Blackadder. Yeah, well, here's the funny thing about that. So let me see if I can remember them. So there was Lordy. See, they were in my head today and now they've disappeared again. So there was a lovely group of people who, we had fog this morning. Fog! That's crazy. That got Christmas cancelled in the UK. Not the Pilgrims. I've forgotten them again. Oh my God. But anyway, so for the I should say band. In the UK. So, it's not bringing it up today. It will come to me. So anyway, this group that got the Christmas ban from the mid 1600s up to the early 1800s, they actually got Christmas completely banned in the UK. They got it outlawed. So you couldn't have anything Christmas. And Christmas up to that point was basically that 12-day celebration. And you couldn't utter anything Christmas. You couldn't go to church. You couldn't go to have a gathering with people. I'm getting to the tinsel thing. And so for 150 years in the UK, there was zero Christmas. And then lovely little Miss Victoria and her lovely husband came through and brought through the German, because they were just like, we can't be having this. So they basically got that whole ruling reversed, but then because it had been like 150 years, it was kind of drawn back down to kind of one day of celebration as such and togetherness. But what happened in that time after Christmas came back in, things like Christmas trees came in because that came through from the German side. Lots of decorations came in, and one of them being tinsel. And originally tinsel was actually made of very, very thin pieces of tin, hence the word tinsel. And they were very difficult, though, to keep clean because they would just break. And so, many years later, obviously, we have these sort of plasticky type ones, which is so much easier to keep clean and work with. But there we go. That's the origin of tinsel. Is it used to be, and this is back in the days when they used to put lit candles on the tree, and it became so common for house fires to happen on Christmas that they eventually figured out that perhaps putting live candles on trees was not a good idea. Oh dear. So yeah, the why can't I remember the word? You can Google it for me, Sarah. There was a group, they're not the Pilgrims, they're not the, yes, exactly. But yeah, so there was a lot of very beautiful things that came through from the German side of the heritage. That is why we have the type of Christmas that we have now. And if you look at the way the Germans celebrate Christmas, you see a lot of similarities because that's where it's come through from. So how cool is that? All right, so hopefully everybody's having a nice, calm, cool Christmas or warm Christmas, an easy Christmas. The word will come to me. No, it's still not there yet. It will come probably when the show's finished. So I'd like to just remind you that anybody who donates for an extended reading tonight, all of the proceeds from extended readings, I will round it up to the nearest big dollar, and I will be donating that to the food banks this week as well. So I know what it's like to be hungry, even if there was one period of time where I was working, but my money was paying for all the bills, and it got to a point where it was a case of, do I pay the power bill or do I get food? And it came down to I need to pay the power bill, because otherwise that's going to create bigger issues. So that's what I did. And basically for an entire month, I ate rice and Weet-Bix, and I didn't have milk. Once the milk was gone, it was gone. The only person that actually ate really well was the cat. So, yeah. And I remember really distinctly getting to, it was just right before Christmas, and my partner at the time was working commission only, and he was traveling. So that was why I was in the situation I was in. And I remember looking down in the cupboard, the pantry, and it was like all pretty much bare apart from, baking bits and pieces. And I looked down at the bottom of the cupboard, and there was tucked right at the back was this can of sliced beetroot. And I opened it up, and I had the first slice of beetroot, and it was the best tasting beetroot I've ever had in my whole life. No other beetroot has been able to come anywhere close to that. But when you've had 3 weeks of eating rice with some soy sauce or tomato sauce, and then Weet-Bix with water, anything's going to taste great. So that's why I'm donating all the proceeds from the extended readings tonight over to the food banks, because I know what that's like. And, it's not just because you have to use a food bank doesn't mean you're homeless, doesn't mean like that you're, not trying to do for yourself. It's just sometimes shit happens and you need a little bit of extra help. And that's what the food banks are doing at the moment. So, yeah, definitely so grateful. I'm so grateful I have a job where, I'm able to remain sovereign in my own health and well-being, and I'm being paid reasonably for my work, and I'm doing reasonable amounts of hours, and I have the ability now to not have to worry about what I'm going to eat. I just went down and spent freaking $200 at the supermarket today, most of that being for one day of the year. I mean, that's just absolutely bonkers to me, but this is what we do. And I feel lucky. I feel very fortunate that I have the support of an amazing partner now to also create those sorts of pathways for myself and for the people around me. So please know that all the donations today will go, all of the contributions will go as a donation towards the food bank. We did that last week, and it felt really, really, really good to be able to put that money towards the food banks. So happy days. Let me pop those links up so that makes it easy for you. There we go. Oh, that's the square one. I wanted the PayPal one. That's all right. We'll find the PayPal one. And here's the PayPal one. All right. There we go. Chuck that one across there. Happy days, happy days. All right. So I have a funny feeling we've just been through the new moon yesterday. So we don't have to worry about the moon affecting us too much over Christmas. Thank goodness for that. I know it can be a bit much sometimes, those moon energies. So let's have a look at a general reading for the next week. Taking us from, let's see, the 23rd. So today's the 23rd, taking us through from the 24th to the 30th, basically till the end of the year. Let's see what our lovely teams would like us to know as a general reading for everybody on the Find You Fridays who will get to watch this. See what is the best way for us to handle the week to come. So we know it's going to be full of lots of interesting energies. Oh, yes, we're feeling it already. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people requiring to breathe. And it's funny, isn't it? We sit there and we're so often, yes, I know, the teams are talking to me. We think, oh, yes, but we're breathing. If we didn't breathe, we'd die. But quite often we don't breathe deeply. We don't center ourselves, and we just get wrapped up in everybody else's palaver. Interesting. I've got a range of cards that wish to come out and play for this particular reading. There we go. Cool. That one. And one more. Tell me in the comments below. Tell me in the comments, what is your favorite Christmas memory? I would love to know that while we're getting these cards coming out. Oh, last minute choice to have the old tinsel in the hair. It just seemed it was the perfect size. I pulled it out of the box. Interesting. Okie dokie. So for the next week, which is obviously rolling over Christmas, let's have a look and see. Awesome. We've got some really fascinating cards that has come out. So first of all, obviously for Christmas Day, we've got Hello from Heaven. So obviously we're all going to be pulling around and being with family or not. Some of my best Christmases have actually been the ones where I've spent completely alone and just made it a super special day just for me. So what that card coming out is saying is like, even if you do feel alone, your family and friends that have passed over are there. They're saying hello, and they are like just letting you know that they're still around and that it's okay to acknowledge them, and it's okay to have the feeling of them, to acknowledge the feeling of them around you during this weekend, if you like, and that they want you to let go of all the worries and to feel their loving blessings, because they are here to support you and love you and just have you moving forward with your life in a light-hearted, most easeful way. And so if just take a moment on your Christmas Day, even if it's just you, just to acknowledge the ones that have passed, much like the old traditions of Halloween. Like, that's what we used to do. That was All Hallows Eve, where we acknowledge those who have passed, and we don't really do those traditions anymore, you know. And I was actually just listening to a beautiful book called, it's just a general novel. Thank you, honey. I love how you know this. The Secret History of Witches. And they were talking about taking the time and setting places at the table for those who have gone and acknowledging them, because they are still very much a part of the family. And I think doing that at this time of year is also really important, even if it's just in your mind, you're saying thank you for being a part of my family. Thank you for being a part of my tribe or my clan, or however you choose to call it. You know, it's important to acknowledge our ancestors, because without them, you wouldn't exist. That's the, you know, plain truth of it all. As you move through this next week, you're going to require some nurturing. Okay, I know we all go a bit bonkers, and a lot of people, and even if you're not going bonkers, if you're not really feeling it, there will still be a moment in your worlds where you're going to have to just nurture your inner child. There might be some trigger points coming up around family, when family gets together or doesn't get together. I know one of the beautiful community here has basically been banned from Christmas from her family because she is choosing to have sovereignty over her body. And so they've banned her from Christmas. Now that sucks, you know. But then again, there's the other side of it of like, well, perhaps she just requires to be around some more like-minded people for Christmas. So all of these kinds of trigger points will be coming up at the moment, and it's important to allow yourself the time to nurture you and to recognize those trauma points and to go through that process of actually talking with your inner child so that they can be soothed and calm, and so you can approach this next few days with much more ease. Which leads into the next card, which is the counselor card. Okay, so it won't be just you getting triggered. You're going to probably find every single member of the family is going to be triggered in some way, shape, or form. Okay, always happens when family gets together. Sometimes they're good trigger points, sometimes they're not so great trigger points. So, So you might find yourself on the receiving end of other people's trauma. You might find yourself on the receiving end of other people's hurt spaces, or your own. So be aware that the counselor in you that is within you will be called to action, even if it is just for yourself. All right. So if you find yourself erratically overeating or over drinking or whatever, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Like, what's this about? What am I running from? Why am I hiding? You know, the next card that we've got is brilliant idea. So perhaps you've had some amazing ideas of how to handle Christmas with total ease that is just really out of the box, or perhaps you're having some ideas coming through at the moment for things to move into the new year. Write them down and start actioning them, because it sounds like there's some good stuff brewing. Okay. The next one we've got is healthy lifestyle. So yes, okay, quite often we overindulge, all of that. Allow yourself the space to be mindful of what you're eating. So it doesn't mean that you have to stop eating everything, but just maybe smaller portions. That may be a good idea. The next card that we've got, which I thought was really, really interesting, is from the Mary Magdalene set. And it says, I am the Grail, which is hold on to your power. So how many of you, when you're all around your family, slide into a version of yourself which is not the version that you be on a normal basis? I know I'm guilty of that from time to time. And now I'm, remembering to stand in who I be. Because this version of me is so much kinder and softer and nicer than the old version, the trauma-filled version, the version of me that had all of the coping mechanisms of like sarcasm and all of that, like, and the pedantic version of me where I was a control freak. Like, I'd much rather this version than that version. So just be aware that just be you on Christmas, okay? And if you require a little bit of quiet and a little bit of space and a little bit of peace, go for a walk. Or if it's too cold, like it's going to be for Sarah in Canada, go to the toilet and chill out in the toilet for a little bit. Do some deep breathing and, do what you have to do to give yourself the space to reset for you into your heart space and just be you. Okay? Those that love you will love you regardless. Okay? Those that love you will love you even more for being you. All right. And the next card that we've got is from the Celtic Oracle, which is Dream, Manifestation, Plan, and Be. So this week coming, obviously, it's the end of the year. It's the last week of the year. There's a lot of, and it actually matches up with the Brilliant Idea. So those two, it's kind of like they're just reinforcing each other. There's going to be some really great planning and reflection moments happening over the next week. And that's a really good thing to do. The power that you have right now, and we mentioned this a few times, to manifest and actualize, bring into your world what is that, the things that are really in alignment with who you be, what you be, your desires for your ultimate life are all really, really up in the world right now. And it's not just because of Christmas. It's not just because it's the end of the year. This is the energy that we have created over the last few years and the last, all of the hard slog that these beautiful light workers like yourselves have done, and the ones before us and the ones before us, that the healers and the, from all different walks of life and modalities, all of this hard work has created this space where we can create and manifest with so much ease now. Now, my sister Sarah over in Canada there, she is just fucking incredible with this. She does it without even thinking about it. And I know you do, because you're like, I think it would be really great to have a TV for my kids' room. And within, a couple of weeks, bam, there's one there. And you didn't even have to pay for it. It's like, psh, it's just cool stuff like that. It's being open to receive. It's being open to receive the magic that you be. So, yeah. Hold on to your power, remain sovereign within yourself, chill out, breathe. And for the next week, plan your week, plan your year to come. Have a think about what would you like your year to come to be. I'm also, with that, I just got the nudge, if you're into tarot or anything like that, perhaps pull 1 or 2 tarot cards for every month of the year to come and see what comes through. Have a look at that. I did that for this year, first time ever, and it was amazing. Everything has aligned up incredibly. I'm just like, wow, how weird is that? Like, I had no idea that that's how this year was going to rock out, but that's what it has. Lots of choices. Sarah, totally debt free. Lots of choices. And action. And what else is possible? All right, so last card for the general reading for the next week. Gratitude. Okay, so just remain in gratitude for every single moment over the next 7 days, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome. Find the space of gratitude within that. You might have moments where you're feeling really cranky and really grumpy about something. Find the positives and have the gratitude for what that is. And if you've got someone in your world that is able to be with you, to send a message to or have a chat with about something that's sort of like grinding your gears a bit, they might have a different perspective, especially if you've got someone who is able to see those lighter sides, the brighter sides, the more gratitude-filled moments, you know, and doesn't just dive into your shit with you, because that's not helpful. Oh dear. So that's the reading for the next week. Happy days. Okay, let's see if anybody's done any donations. Not as yet. That's okay. I know. Christmas. I'm grateful that I met you too. Okay. Mary Magdalene set. Celtic set. Don't get those two confused. Alrighty. Ah, thank you, Sandra. I love it. Oh, seriously, Sandra, that just made my heart just go. Truly. Because the gift that you've just given to some very needy families out there is huge. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And I would love to know, Sandra, what question do you have? What area would you like me to have a look at? So that I can give you a little more accurate reading around that for you. That's better. I actually have little Christmas tree earrings, but they're funky. They're like a swirl with a long bit. Let me see if I can show you. Oh. See, check that out. Isn't that cute? I've had them for years. I just think that's so amazing. Alrighty. Thank you. I have some other little sort of stud earrings and stuff like that I was using last year. Well, not last year, the year before. Okay. It's coming up next. Alrighty. Let's see what cards wish to come and play with you. So thank you, Sandra, for those beautiful comments. Thank you, Sarah, for your beautiful comments. I love them. I am happy to receive. And I agree. Sandra is amazing, and I'm so grateful for you, Sandra. All right. Sandra, just do me a favor and just drop into your heart space. Hi, Angelita. Good morning. Just do some really deep breathing, Sandra, into your heart space and down further into your low belly. Right down. Right down to your base chakra. Keep going. Now I want you to breathe out. So it's like you just imagine you're expanding your bubble. And every time you breathe in, make that bubble a bit bigger. Keep going. Just keep doing that. Keep expanding your bubble, okay? That feels a bit better. Keep going though. Keep breathing. Angelita, tell me, what is your favorite Christmas memory? Okay, cool, thank you. It's interesting how all these pieces are coming in together. Oh dear. So yes, Angelita, just tell me, what's your favorite Christmas memory? I love Sarah's ones. They were really cute. Just jump back up for a moment. And Sandra, I just wish to acknowledge at this point that about your mum passing. I do definitely appreciate that. Yeah, I feel that in the heart. She loved Christmas and wasn't going to live until Christmas, so we had a Christmas early and it was very hard, but it was a beautiful memory too. Yeah. I feel for you on that one. And sledding with your dad for Sarah, and also her mum's perfect baking. Yeah, there's something about mum's food, isn't there? There always is. It's something pretty special. For sure. Okay, awesome. Okay, honey. So what I'm getting here through these cards at the moment is you're going through a space right now where everything just feels hard, and like it's the interactions with people are hard, the time is hard, finances is hard, everything just feels hard. And it's kind of like there's this feeling of I can't fucking be bothered. So what I'm seeing here in the cards, it's really interesting because it's kind of a little bit flipsy-flopsy in that the overall thing here we've got a mixture of 3 different decks that have come out to play. So the first card that came out was the communication card, which is the Jade Vine. And this card to me is saying, like, you're going to have to step up with your communication, and you're going to have to be very much in the space of softening, but also having those boundaries and sticking up for yourself. So there's the third card that came out was Strength. Okay, so this is where I'm saying, you're going to have those moments where looking at what is truly valuable to you, who is actually feeding your soul and your heart, as opposed to just drawing your energy away. And even those people that are drawing the energy away from you and distracting you, bringing trauma into your life or drama or whatever is going on there, I just keep wanting to breathe. Like, be aware of your breath. Okay, that's why it keeps coming up. It's just like, right? You're going to have to do that a lot. Okay, and come back to this. Slow shit down. Don't get wrapped up in the trauma drama. Just allow yourself some space to be away from that. And the second card in between the communication and the strength was gratitude. Okay, so you're going to have to keep your gratitude game really fucking high over this next little period of time. I'm getting that is going to help you to move through this next period with the changes that are happening with you in your world right now. There's just a lot of heavy stuff, but you've got to keep coming back to your heart and what you truly are and remaining who you be. Okay, think about the energy of the life that you truly desire and ask yourself, when these heavy energies come in, does that match that? And if it doesn't, move it away from yourself. Okay, and go do something else. Okay. Yeah. The last few days. Yeah, I feel it. So the next card that came up was from the Sacred Cycles card, which is the Waxing Crescent Moon. So when this card came out, I had to have a quick look at the book because it had to see what it said. So I'm like, it says, I let my curiosity lead the way. And also your journal prompt is, what has sparked my curiosity lately? So have a look at that, write it down, journal about it. But I was also getting that this is a time card. So around the waxing crescent moon, there's going to be a distinct shift happening for you in your world. And this distinct shift is going to possibly make things feel like they're getting a bit worse for a little bit. Okay. So breathe. Just keep breathing. Okay. The next card that we got was from the Divine Guidance, which is full of words, and it says, you seem to have run into difficulty, but do not fear failure nor be apathetic. It is simply a part of your journey. Make the necessary changes, follow your gut instinct, and try to maintain the vision of your goal. So if you recall from the general reading, we had a couple of times there it was talking about looking at the future and look at your plans, look at where you want to go for the next year. So again, it's coming up, but this one is specifically for you, saying for you to maintain your vision. So even if you're coming up against some obstacles and challenges over the next little bit, just keep that main goal in mind. Keep that vision in mind of where you're heading to. And if there's a block that's come up, is it a block that's actually redirecting you onto an easier path? Because sometimes we get into a space of thinking that we have to do everything ourselves, or that there's only one way to do it, or something like that. And there could very well be a much easier way of doing it. It's just that we're not willing to see it until we're really pushed to. I know I'm like that sometimes. I'm a recovering control freak, and that came from my hurt space and my childhood trauma, all right? So this might be something that you require to indulge or have a look at a little bit more deeply. The next one we got is from the same deck, it says it's a time of financial difficulty, but do not allow it to undermine your faith you have in yourself. Respond to the challenge and move forward. So again, it's saying there might be some roadblocks coming up, but it's okay. You know, you will be okay. Just keep having the faith, believe in it, believe in you, believe in your goal, believe in what you're what you are creating and moving towards. Because if you keep believing in that, it will happen. Okay. The next card that we've got is from the same deck again, and it says insight and understanding help to ease a difficult time. Work towards a calmer and more peaceful state. So again, we come back to that gratitude card. Okay. So that gratitude card that's why it was sitting right in the middle of this reading. It's saying to you, please find the things in your world that give you peace, that give you calmness, that give you some happiness. Get into your, I don't know if you're already doing a lot of journaling, but please just give yourself the space to journal, to meditate, to find that little peace every single day in your world that will open your heart. Okay, open your heart, give you some hugs, give you some kindness, nurture you and your beautiful, beautiful self. And things will be shifting around the waxing crescent moon, okay? And then it will, I would say it's going to get easier and easier. So let's have a look and see what your yummy card is going to give you. Okay, we've got grace. Okay. So when I see grace, I think there's elegance to that. So when you feel those harsher, more challenging emotions coming up, look at that and see, where is this coming from? What is my inner child trying to say? Where can I find the grace in this? Where can I find the ease in this? Okay. How can I create more space? All right. Don't hoard those emotions, but also don't spill it all over your family either. It's like, if you require some space, give it to yourself. You're an adult. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to take yourself out for a walk. You're allowed to, just request gently, with grace, some space. Just to go, look, you know what, guys? I'm just going to go and sit and have a cup of tea for a bit. I'm going to go sit in my garden and enjoy the birds for a little bit. You guys do you for a bit. I'll be back in a moment. I think if we could all have been taught that it was okay to do that as kids, it would be so much easier now as adults to do that. When we feel the energy, when we feel it up so high, it would be so much better if we could just not be in that habit of pushing those hard, heavy, raw emotions down and allow them to be honored. I enjoy Christmas a lot. There's a movie on Netflix at the moment called I Believe in Santa. It's a ridiculous movie in so many ways, but the core of it is that, because they talk about, this guy who absolutely totally believes in Santa, and his girlfriend doesn't. And he said, but if you don't believe, you don't receive. And then they compared it to religion and God and da-da-da, or, that sort of thing. or Buddha or whichever version. And what that movie did for me was to reaffirm why I love Christmas. And I love Christmas because it's the energy of Christmas. It's the spirit of Christmas, if you like. To me, it has absolutely nothing to do with a big fat man sitting in a red suit that was designed by Coca-Cola. You know, that's not Christmas to me. Christmas to me is that sense of community that is sparked at Christmas time. It's that sense of giving. It's a sense of, so many people, when they heard that I was having Christmas by myself, they were like, no, you can come have Christmas with us. Please. You shouldn't have to have Christmas on your own. What they didn't comprehend was that I was actually really looking forward to Christmas by myself. And that's okay too. That's okay too. The reason why I was looking forward to it, though, is because I was making it special for me. And I was nurturing Christmas for me. So Christmas is, to me, the energy of Christmas, the spirit of Christmas, the community of Christmas, the fact that people are just way more willing to give to others. And they kind of are, in a lot of ways, putting themselves, that they're getting out of their me box for a little while, which is nice, Not always the case, as we know, but that's, to me, where the Christmas spirit comes from. It's that lightheartedness that comes through. So, yes, and I get it, Sandra. Like, when family members pass, especially if it's close to Christmas, it can make it really difficult to really truly enjoy the day. I get it. I miss, like, my granddad. I miss him terribly, and he died 12 days before my birthday. No, 10 days before my birthday. But I just love him anyway, All right, so let me see. If you happened, hope that helps, honey. Hope that helps, Sandra. Thank you so much for donating. I'm super duper 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 grateful for you. All right, so yeah, my granddad, I miss him. He's still around though. He pops up with feathers or the smell of CRC, which to the Australians is WD-40. Or the other smell he occasionally uses is the smell of linseed. He'll occasionally bring up the smell of linseed oil. And my favorite Christmas memory is still as about, how old would I have been? I would have been maybe 4, or heading towards 4. And I remember going to bed, and there was a really, really, really big tree in the lounge room, but it was a pine tree, and it was completely bare when I went to bed on Christmas Eve. And you guys have WD-40 too. Yeah, maybe CRC is a New Zealand thing. I don't know. And when I came out in the morning, it was completely decorated with the lights and the baubles and the tinsel and everything. And I was so excited to see that. And like this tree, because we had a double-story lounge room with vaulted ceiling. And that was a house that my mum and dad had built. And so they could put in a really, really tall tree. And obviously as a 4-year-old, everything looks really tall anyway. But I would say it would be close to a 13-foot tree. It was really, really tall. And because it was way taller than my dad, and my dad was no, I don't think he was 6 foot, but he was up towards that height. And I didn't really care about the presents under the tree. Like, I was just so enraptured with the actual tree. Like, it was just so beautiful, and the lights and everything was just like, and I used to just sit there and look at the tree for hours. You know, it was just like one of my happiest memories, which is why the tree is such an important part in my life now. And that's why even when I have to have it as a smaller tree, like I have this year, because I just haven't got the space to do it, I still make sure it looks special and it looks pretty, and, you know, I take the time to honor that memory. So that's my most favorite Christmas memory. Yeah. Alrighty. Now, Sarah, if you go into your PayPal, because you can PayPal me, and let me see what's the best way for you to do that. So the PayPal me thing should work. I can't change it. So had another freaky moment today of how our technology listens to us. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine over some food requirements that I required to have for somebody new that I'm going to be helping with or entertaining over the weekend. And in my YouTube, not in YouTube, in the Facebook side of things where you've got your little shorts and things happening, never before has this particular dietary requirement come up, and now it does. I was like, I didn't Google anything. All I did was have a phone conversation with a friend of mine who also knows about this particular dietary requirement. And I'm like, oh my God. All right. Okay, Sarah. What question do you have? We'll sort out the payment later. I can do that with you because you're gorgeous and you're my sister. Sister from another Mr. and Mrs. My sister from the other side of the world. That one. Copy. Oh man, this technology is awesome. I love this stuff. Watch this. A ting. Happy days. Good morning, Kim. Wow, you're coming from Belgium? You must have some really cool Christmas stuff happening over there. Kim, what is your favorite Christmas memory? And of course, I'd just like to say, anybody who does donate today, all of your donations are going towards the food banks. I'll make another donation towards the food bank tonight after we finish the show. So Sarah, I have sent you the link over on Telegram so we can sort that out. Mm-hmm. And for anybody else, let me just grab that one again. Paste. There we go. How does it get any better? I know it's crazy late or early in the morning over in Canada. So I appreciate you tuning in, Sarah. Hi, Jim. Tim, I forgot. How are you going, sweetie? Haven't spoken with you for ages. Oh, oh no, Angelita. Okay. My favorite Christmas memory is when I was young with my grandmom and mum and sister having a nice evening. Oh, that sounds so good. Hi, Nicole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I knew that wasn't your proper name, but I was like, I couldn't remember. So thank you. Oh, just stick around, Kim. The Christmas spirit might be still within. And thank you, Angelita. I'm looking forward to your session in the new year. It's going to be a doozy. I can feel it. Oh, dear. But this time of night works for you, doesn't it? Because it's your very early morning. So it's just Mondays. No, you wanted a Tuesday, I think. Oh, thank you, Kim. I've got tinsel everywhere. Look. And a Christmas card that lights up and a little light up Santa bus over there. There we go. An extra tinsel up there and just, it's all over the place. Yeah. So let me have a think, because I might be able to work something out with that one. And we can, yeah, I'll chat to you afterwards. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Aww. Alrighty, Kim. Yeah, we'll have a look at that, Angelita, because I do have a little bit of time off coming up. So just with the public holidays, and I think you guys call them bank holidays and stuff like that. So, Kim, I'll give you a 2-card reading as a little Christmas spirit thing. What specific question do you have that I could deal with in 2 cards? That particular card is one that it has one of those little battery operated candles. So yeah, it just looks really cool. I have these cards that I make at my craft class that I attend, and oh no, can't be a general. Gotta be a specific question. If you wish to have a reading, then something specific is what is required. And so yeah, I have this craft class, and we make a big range of different things over the year, and the lovely lady who runs it, she always comes up with some really interesting things, and this was one of the beautiful cards that we did this year right early in the piece. So yeah, it was absolutely stunning. It's a stand-up 4-way, looks like a on its side A. It's just so pretty, and it's one that I call a not worthy card, in that nobody else is worthy enough to receive it. So it's a card that stays in my collection for me, and it's a way of honoring me, and if I wish to make more of them, then I can, but the original stays with me, and I have a little collection of those types of cards. All right, Kim. Well done. Alrighty. Let me see. Thank you, Nicole. If you're talking about my tree, that was originally an ancestral tree. It's a bit harder to see it with the lights over it at the moment. But then it turned into an inspiration tree. So basically what happens when we are, because we are the, thank you, Angelita, we are the trunk of the tree, okay? And our heart is, there's actually a right about where that blank bit is with the lights, there's actually a bit of texture there that looks a lot like a heart. So when we are functioning from our heart space and we have those ideas, those intuitions that come through, what that does is it actually branches off several other ideas. And then those branch off to more ideas and more and more and more and more. And that's how, when we work from our heart-centered spaces, we can create such a beautiful impact in the world, because our heart-centered space, us listening to our intuition, us working from that space of being us and listening to our truth, can create such a massive impact in the world, because every choice that we make creates more. Okay, so that's what that is all about. Started out as one thing and moved into something else completely different. So let's have a look at Kim. Two cards, looking at the love and the future. All right, so Kim, as far as love in the future goes, you're going to have to step up, girl. All right, so with the stepping up, you're going to be paving a new path for yourself, okay? And that you are going to have to be the leader that you wish that you had, okay? So you're going to have to look at everything that you wish you had from other people, whether it be from a mother, a father, grandparents, whatever. You're going to have that and be that for yourself. Because the next card that we got is Deep Love, Mother's Milk, Birth is a Portal, right? Which is basically bringing you back to looking at your mother wounds and doing some deep, deep healing around those areas, so that you can allow yourself to be the leader that you truly require to be, to have your relationship and love moving forward in a really healthy and productive way. If you're relying on your partner to be that forward mover in the relationship, it's not going to go as quickly or as fast as what you would really desire. You have to do that for yourself. And I also get that there's some of those blocks that are holding you there is your childhood trauma, it's mother trauma, it's stuff that you have to heal for yourself. It's not about blaming your mum or your dad or your grandparents or your ancestry or how you were raised or anything like that. Don't go into the blame game. It's about coming back and healing those spaces and talking with your inner child and being that nurturing mother, nurturing for you, so that you can create that space within of confidence, of self-confidence and self-soothing and all of that, but also soften at the same time, so you can be that lovely balance between masculine and feminine energy. All right, so you're going to have to step up. That's basically what this new year is going to be showing you, and it's going to require you to do some lovely deep healing work on yourself, and you'll be fine, fine, fine. Thank you for that, sweetie. Hope that helps. I don't know what that was. Oh. Okay. Angelita, thank you very, very much for the donation. Of course, all donations will be going towards the food banks, much like we did last week. and I'm so grateful to all of you who do donate for today, and obviously from last week. It was just so beautiful to be able to gift forward in such a way that just opened my heart, made me feel very, very happy indeed. All right. What question do you have, beautiful Miss Angelita? What little area are you looking at having a look at today? Hey, Nicole. Yeah. Happy, boom, fire, hot. Yeah, there's the balance and luck. Okay. All right, let's have a look at that one. See who wants to talk. Hey, Nicole, did you tell me what your favorite Christmas memory is? Tell me if you haven't done so already. I may have missed it. Oh, some energy there. Who or what are you not listening to? Because I'm certainly getting a sense of like a yelling. It's like you're... Okay. Yeah, it's really loud. And I would say the bear is actually your team. No, it's not you yelling, it's them. They're trying to get your attention in any way possible, and they're finding it really difficult to get through. So in dream time is when they're doing that now. Okay. So I was just having a look. Let me just make sure that I'm not... Yeah, okay, cool. So I was just double checking to see where that's coming from. Yeah, I know, right? It's really loud. So Angelita, I'm getting that this is actually a past lifetime thing that's coming up to be healed now, and they're really loud because it's important it's done soon. Like it's we have the solar plexus chakra has come up, and it's like this is to do with it's safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in positive ways. So and this is a really interesting reading, because the next one we have is around your spiritual gifts, and then using them in a way to teach is the next one. Oh man, my ear just started ringing. And that you're a powerful light worker. So it's like this loudness is because you're playing too small. You're trying to be so hard to be normal in this crazy fucked up world. And it's like, it's time for you to deal with that stuff. But I'm still getting a sense that this is, not only is this showing up now, but this is, as Sarah is saying, it is like, it is a past life thing that is coming up, and it's here now to be dealt with. And this, they're just so fucking loud, because it's like, you know, it's like right at the bottom of my belly. It's like, you're going to have to, what I would suggest you do is look at those dreams, write them down. And when we do your session, we can actually do some techniques to deal with that stuff. But there is absolutely some really interesting things there. Yes, there's a bit of anger. There's not just a little bit, there's a lot of anger. And this person has somehow shown up in your world, but it's not to do with their embodiment now, if that makes all sense at all. It's like, it's coming through them, but it's like it belongs back there. It belongs in that other lifetime, and we have to go and settle that out. Like, we have to sort that shit out. Now, if you know some tools and techniques of how to do past life regression work and healing and trauma release and all of that sort of stuff, do some. In the meantime, journal it out, write out your dreams, have a look at it, and see what and initially comes through to you with your intuition. I'm also getting a sense that you're not using your intuition as much as what you could be. Okay. And that's part of the other reason why they're a bit angry and loud. So yeah. Now let's just have a look at these other cards and see, because that was like, there was more to come. There's more to come out. And I was like, okay, which card deck? Oh, yep, that's spirit world stuff. Right. Cool. So again, it's just reconfirming. So we've got the ghosts. They're talking about old memories being healed. They're talking about childhood dreams. They're talking about that's just reconfirming. All right. The next one we've got here, which is interesting, it's kind of like a little bit of like it's okay, you'll be all right. So you got to deal with this childhood trauma stuff, but it's almost like this childhood trauma from the other lifetime. Okay, so that's what. Yeah. So there's some stuff that's happening in there that is asking to be dealt with, but if you do, you're going to have really great success, and it's going to help to break through a lot of these blocks that you're aware of right now. It's like you've been asking, what is blocking me? What is holding me back? What's stopping me from moving forward? So that has just shown itself to you in your dream form. Okay. So yeah, exactly. Because you've lived it before. That's the interesting thing, is that you've actually done this before. They're just showing you it's kind of like a movie. And then the next card that we've got for you is the release card. Okay, the peacock. And it says it's time to release the past and move on to something new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. So you asked what was stopping you. You've asked what is holding you back, and it's showing up in a way that has got your attention, which Spirit loves to do. They love to get your attention in the best way that they know how. And for you right now, it is through your dreams. So come back to that space of gratitude. Come back to that space of knowing you have the awareness and the knowledge now, and have a look at it. See what you can do with that, because I know you've got some skills up your sleeve, and see what sort of digging you can do around this area. Be a fucking peacock. Let it go, shine your light, be big, be that powerful light worker that you truly be. Okay. And allow yourself to feel safe within your space that you are now, and keep diving into these little areas. There's some, like, when we do past life regression work, it's so fucking cool, and there's a reason why it works, because quantum dynamics, quantum mechanics, it's just an incredible, amazing thing. So let's have a look at your yummy card. No, it's not to scare the shit out of you. It's to make you pay attention. Because if it was all a nice, light, airy fairy dream, you'd just go, "Oh, that was lovely. Oh," and then you'd carry on your day. You would forget about it. But because it's a big, scary, quote unquote, bad dream, it's really brought it to your attention and made you sort of jar it into your cognitive awareness, as opposed to just sitting back in the nice light, la space, right? So that's why. And if you spend a little bit more time perhaps doing some intuitive journaling, awake internal and intuitive journaling, you might find that those sorts of dreams and stuff might not be as necessary, because you'll be opening up your channels to actually listen to your spirit team. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the yummy card we got for you is support. So definitely it's totally time to reach out to receive that support to help you through it. That's the beautiful thing about having somebody else take you through that somatic healing, the past life regression healing, because they can help you move through and not get caught up in the emotion of that particular life. They help to keep you as an observer, rather than reliving that experience, because that doesn't actually help. Reliving the experience doesn't help with the healing. So yeah, hope that helps, and thank you so very, very much for donating. And of course, as I said before, every donation will go to the food bank tonight. So Sarah, you know it, she is an angel. Absolutely. And I love the fact I have, how did I get so lucky to have such a beautiful community over here on Find You Fridays? I'm just so absolutely deliciously grateful for you all. So what we will do now, Sarah, you're funny. Nicole, you'll move out when the time is right for you to move out. I would be looking at what choices are you making? What have you got to learn? What have you got to learn from this experience with those neighbors? What can you be grateful for? I know neighbours can be very challenging. I have some rather challenging ones myself right now. And, a lot of the time they're actually pretty good. And then every now and then they do stuff that just really grinds my gears. And I look at that and I go, okay, so yeah, I feel the energy. I feel the emotions of that. And then I look at it and go, okay, so what am I not being or doing right now? What is this showing up? What mirror has this got coming up for me, to show me where I'm not being all of me? And the house that you will move into will be when the time is right for you. And everything will line up and it will just be so much ease, and you'll be just like, oh. But in the meantime, maybe these neighbors are there to remind you to have gratitude, even in the worst moments, even in the most challenging moments. If you can still find that space of gratitude, happy days. Sarah, I'll do a reading for January next week when I'm house sitting. Oh, that's a bit of a funny one. In the meantime, hi, Judy. Hello. Love to see you. All right. If anybody else would love to do a donation to do an extended reading, you're more than welcome to do so. I am going to do I'm gonna do some ready for it. Ready? First number that pops into your head between 1 and 88. Go for it. Ready? All right, Judy's up first. 86. She's onto it. She knows the drill. Okay, so Judy. I love it. You've got the possibilities of intimacy. The delicious, intoxicating scent of you, lingering on my skin, teasing my senses, delighting my memories, creating joyousness with every inhalation, dancing with me, enticing me. Fingers touch lips, the imprint of yours on mine still lingers. The taste of your sweat, the smell of your essence, all senses tingling with delight. The look in your searching blue eyes as they energetically receive my unspoken love. The moment every cell relaxed as those magical words quietly tumble from my lips. Those words that have become pure and clear again, unadulterated by this reality. The vulnerability to utter, the trust of knowing, the honoring of body and being, the gratitude of contribution, the allowance of choice, creating magical moments where time and space are of no concern. The featherlight touch, the passionate kiss, the melting embrace, they are ours to indulge in sweet contribution. Judy. Whew. This is such just a delicious goddess type poem for you. So I'm really sensing in the new year, or at least for the next little bit, that if you're not in a relationship, because I can't remember if you are or not, but if you're not, or even if you are, this space you're going to be diving into of just such lovely, delicious goddessness, of honoring of you, of honoring your space, of honoring your femininity, of it's not about being feminine, it's about femininity. and just diving into some really new, yummy, delicious things that are just going to keep your relationship. There's some new, real tasty energies coming through. So, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Enjoy, Judy. Merry Christmas. Alrighty, Sandra, 75. Sandra, the cleansing tears. The tears are welling, and for once, they are for joy and not for sorrow. The smile that accompanies them is in stark contradiction to what the tears have meant before. They are washing away all the hurt and heartache, cleansing my soul and leaving nothing but the pure love that I feel. The grief is easing, honey. The grief is easing, and it's okay. This is very much a space that, like this poem is just saying, things are going to be moving forward for you. Okay, and it's okay. You're going to be absolutely fine. You are going to be so sweet as in moving forward with your life, okay? All right. So yes, enjoy this transition and just be very soft, kind, and gentle with yourself while this space is going on, okay? All right, so thank you, Julie. Loved and shared. I'm so grateful for you, sweetie. Pick a number between 1 and 88, my friends. Oh, dear. Cool. 26 for Julie. $26 for Julie. Okay, Julie. Oh dear. Solitude. I sit here alone, but not lonely. I'm thinking of you and how long it will be till we are together again. We can survive, you and me. We are strong, and the bond grows every day. I miss you and you miss me, but while we are together, we will never be lonely. So, Julie, I'm sensing that this is actually a poem for a loved one that's passed over and that they are still with you, that you're not alone, they haven't left you, and that it is okay to continue to enjoy the feeling of them being around you, and that they still very much love you and are continuing that bond every day. They miss you. They miss having that physical interaction with you too, and that you will be together again, and that's okay. You know, just enjoy the space, the different transitional space that you're in right now. And it's kind of like, you know how you have somebody that you've seen in physical form all the time, and then they move away to a different country, and then suddenly you have to communicate via like internet or phone or whatever. It's like you've got that different medium of being able to communicate. When they're going up to the spirit world, it's the same thing. They've just moved into a different kind of medium, and so it's a case of allowing that to continue to grow, to shift, to change, to expand. They love you, and they're letting you know. And also, like, this came up, I think, in our group reading at the start of the show, of maybe set a place for them at the table, or, you know, just even in your mind, set a space for them so you can honor their presence, because they're there. Okay. Kim. Okay. I'll come back to that one with Nicole. Okay, release. Forgive. Number 16. Love is a feeling that sneaks up on you. You don't know that it's got its hold until it's too late. It happens ever so gradually, till the fateful day when I lose the person who is worthy of my love. I don't realize that I've fallen in love until I can't get them out of my mind, even though I know that they are no longer there, that they no longer belong there. It all takes time to forget. Right now, I have to move on and to get on with my life and start to live again as me. So just pairing that up with that 2-card reading from earlier, this is about you letting go of the past. It's about you letting go of the projections and expectations you have of relationship. Okay? This poem is that last little bit, especially is for you, all right? Where it's talking about, it's not about leaving the relationship you're in necessarily, unless it's no longer working for you, but I'm not going to tell you whether it is or it isn't. What all these things are saying is that you are having to shift and change and be something different, more sovereign, more confident within yourself, allowing yourself to be the leader of your life instead of being the follower of someone else's. Okay, so you can still be the leader of someone's life, leader of your life, and be in relationship with someone that, you know, it's sometimes just will take a bit of jiggling around and a lot of patience and allowance on both of your guys' part. One of the books that I would recommend to you is The Owner's and Operator's Guide to Men, written by Mama Gina. I would highly recommend that you read that. I think you can get it on Kindle. I have it in hard copy. It is a brilliant book for empowering you as a woman, but also on how to communicate with men in a way that is going to allow you to be confident and to know how their brains work, because it's just such a really good way to do that, just to inspire you on how to do that with more ease. Okay, cool. So The Owner's and Operator's Guide to Men, that is something that has certainly helped me change my life and my relationships with men. Okay. Hi, Melinda. Hi, darling. Okay. 22. All right. There's a lot of energy around you, hun, as you know. The poem that you got is Together in Harmony. As you leave me tonight, I feel this strange feeling, one that I haven't felt in a long time. It's a feeling of peace, but also one of loss. Peace to know that you'll return, and loss to know that you aren't with me now. I want you to know that even if I can't say it at the moment, that I care for you, and that when we are apart, I'll be thinking of you. Sure, Kim, no worries. Nicole, this is you leaving you. All right? These people that are invading your home and invading your space and being assholes is because part of it is because you're allowing it to happen. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear. Energetically, when we are allowing ourselves to be open to abuse, it's it is of our own making, unfortunately. And I'm gonna thank you. It's a tough topic. It's a tough topic. Okay, so put it this way. I'm gonna tell you a little story about my experience, and then hopefully you can see where that correlates. And so I went through a long time of being in relationship with or surrounded by narcissistic people who were gaslighters and made me feel like, I'm going to say made me feel, even though the feeling was my choice to respond in that way, made me feel like I had to walk on eggshells, made me feel like I had to be less than, made me feel like I had to cut parts and pieces of myself off just so that I wouldn't upset them, so that I could be in the space with them, to work with them, because it was everywhere. And you know, when we look at that philosophy of the people we are surrounded by, or the people that are interacting with us, are the reflections of ourselves. And I remember it was back in 2019, and I just went and I was in a relationship with this person who was narcissistic light. So it wasn't really super bad, but I was also working for narcissistic people. So I had it from a couple of different aspects in my life, right? And it was driving me absolutely bonkers. And I went, right, where the fuck am I narcissistic? Because I was like, I'm not narcissistic with other people. I don't get it. But if this is coming up in my life, the one common denominator here is me. So I must be narcissistic in some fucking shape or form for it to continue to come into my life, because like attracts like. What we are is what we attract. Okay. So I was like, okay, well, I'm being narcissistic and abusive somewhere in my life, in my world, and that has to fucking stop right here and right now. And I made that demand of myself to be honest with me, to see where the hell am I being narcissistic. And it showed up in a way that, and I used all my tools. I was like, truth, am I being narcissistic with other people? And it was like, no, all my awareness said, no, you're not. Truth, am I being narcissistic or gaslighting with my workmates or the office or my partner or my friends? And everything kept saying no. And I was like, well, where the fuck am I being narcissistic then? And I realized that I was being narcissistic with my business and with my money, my financial flows. And because all of it's just energy. The world and our connection flows don't make any distinction between money, relationships, work, the world, our home, our body, even the spirit world. It's all energy, right? So you have to take a really good hard look at yourself and ask yourself, where am I allowing myself to abuse me? Where am I allowing myself to not honor me? Where am I allowing myself to not be the kindness and to not have my boundaries up with me? Where am I allowing myself to be penetrated or to be the people pleaser or, you know, all those sorts of things? Where am I allowing my sovereignty to be diminished, and why? Where does that come from? And then you can actually look at healing that. Because then once you do that, you can make that demand of yourself to continue to grow, shift, change, expand, heal. And once you have your space and your connection working really, really, really well, you'll be able to basically put a beautiful protective bubble around you that nobody will come in and infiltrate, right? And if anybody does manage to kind of slip through, it's a really good sign that you've let your boundaries down. Now, a boundary doesn't mean that you block everything. It means that you actually are sovereign enough to go and be that goddess within and just go, that's not fucking happening. There is no more. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with that energy. And now I'm actually going to have my own back. I'm going to have my sovereignty. And this is where it's going to sit, right? So if you want to move, you fucking make it happen. You save up the money and you fucking move, right? Don't worry about the neighbors anymore. But this is actually a really, really good moment for you to be in reflection and go, where am I allowing myself to have my boundaries down so fucking low that any little fucking can come in and start abusing me? Because that's me not taking care of me. Okay? And what I was sensing in that poem is that you keep checking out. You're not staying present within you. You're not staying present within your body. And when you're checking out like that, that's when your boundaries are coming down and any little fucker can come in and invade you. Physically, emotionally, mentally, within your home. So it's up to you to make that choice to stay within. It's up to you to take charge of you and your life and take responsibility and ownership of your life. Okay? Peace, love, and blessings. Oh, whew, you asked for it. All righty, Melinda, number 12. Interesting choice. We haven't spoken for a little bit. So, okay, frightened. Frightened of life, frightened of people, frightened of decisions, but most of all, frightened of letting down the barriers. The barriers of the heart, ones which have been there for an eternity. And life has challenges where something or someone comes along and begins to break the barriers. And with no control, there is the most frightening thing known. Now, I just wish to say, and this is a little bit for Nicole as well, barriers and boundaries are two very different things. Okay? The boundaries is about honoring you. Barriers are where we're using it for as a protection method, but it's driven out of fear. Okay? So, Melinda, this is kind of like saying, where have your barriers been? Where have you instituted some barriers that are now asking to be released so you can soften and welcome in something really yummy and new, whether that be a relationship, a friendship, a new job, more money flows. Like I'm getting a sense of there's some possible trauma work that's asking to happen now. There's a little bit of digging that's asking for you to come and have a look at that and allow yourself to heal that. And then you'll be ready. Your heart will be much clearer and more open. It's not frightening. It's okay. Okay, I just wish to say to you, it's uncomfortable, I know, to allow those barriers to come down, but it's time. It's time to soften. It's time to allow yourself to be more within your heart and keep that balance going. I know you've been working on it already. This is just sort of saying it's okay. It's okay to feel uncomfortable, right, as you move through. So thank you. Thank you for choosing that beautiful poem. And it's actually quite encouraging, even though it sort of looks a little bit negative, but there's a lot of good stuff happening. and you'll be able to create, manifest, and yeah, he's going to push your buttons a little bit, love. In that he's going to push those buttons of past relationship trauma a little bit in a good way. So just keep breathing through that and soften some more. So I wonder if he was the one I was aware of all those months ago. You know how we kept getting those readings saying that there's somebody yummy that's going to come up with your work? Perhaps he's it. Interesting. All right. Sandra. You did indeed, sweet pea. Cool. Well done. Thank you. All right, my lovely ones. So just because we're going to be heading into Christmas, and I know we're all sort of feeling it at the moment, just having a little drink of lovely Kangen water. Let's do a lovely little Christmas meditation. And let me get rid of that banner. Let's do a Christmas meditation just to see out the show tonight and remind us of who we be and the potency and the power that we be, and just bringing that lovely little Christmas spirit through. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, there's still that energy of community and the magic of Christmas that you can totally bring through your world and help it to create and help you to create your life that you truly desire, to manifest some more magic in your world. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, you're so welcome. Yes, we all require a kick up the butt every now and then. Even me, sometimes especially me. My friends tend to do it a little bit more gently than that. And saying that, sometimes I've required it to be that straight up too. And, you know, if I hadn't had a straight up conversation like that back when I was in New Zealand, trying to make the choice between if I was coming to Australia or not, you know, I had some very wise family friends say to me, go, because if you don't, you're going to regret it. And, you know, and she told me some home truths. She was very straight up with me. So that's all right, Angelita. You can do it eyes open. So yeah, and it was the best choice I ever made, was to move to Australia, even though there were some hard times that happened initially. Best choice ever. All right. So for those of you who can close your eyes, and even if you can't, take a big deep breath in now. Just relax your arms in your lap or down by your side. And if you're driving, just relax those shoulders. Give your head a little bit of a wiggle. Just remind your neck that it is actually loose. It's not all full of tension. And now take a big deep breath right down to the bottom of your belly. And breathing out. And dropping down into that base chakra area. Allowing yourself to just really feel your body moving in and out with every breath. Slowly moving up those chakra points through your pelvis. Through your belly. Through your heart and your heart chakra area. Up through to the throat. And through the third eye. Breathing in And breathing out. Keep breathing low in your belly. Breathing into the crown. And breathing out. And allowing yourself to really feel the breath moving around your body. Keep breathing low, even though it's a little bit quick. Breathing in and out. And now slow it down. And out. And now expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the room or the car. Moving out your awareness into a big bubble out beyond the size of the city you're in or the town that you're in, up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the country that you're in, and now beyond the size of the planet, and now beyond the size of the solar system. Keep breathing low into your belly, expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the galaxies and the universes. And now I'm going to leave it open to you now to expand out however far you would choose to go from here, out beyond wherever you've been before. It's up to you how far out that is. Beautiful. And now focusing on your bodies, your beautiful, sweet bodies once again, and grab your sense of allowance. Breathing that out. Expand it out, like that beautiful bubble we were talking about earlier. Expand out your allowance beyond the size of the planet. Go nice and quick now, beyond the size of the solar system and the galaxies and the universes. And now expanding out your allowance beyond the size of your awareness. Beautiful. Well done. And now from this beautiful space, I'd like you to start tapping into the energy of your heart. And really feel the magic of your heart. Allow it to grow. Allow it to start sparkling all throughout your body. Through to the top of your head, through to your fingertips, all the way down to your tippy toes. And I'd like you to get the energy that I was speaking of around Christmas. That energy of community, the energy of the willingness to do for others, even just strangers on the street. And if you're struggling to find this energy, just tap into the space that I am. See the Christmas through my eyes if you like, if that's easier for you. See the wonder of it from a childlike perspective of looking up at that big, big tree with all of the tree lights and the baubles and the tinsel. See that. And now as we bring that energy and the magic of Christmas, of the community and the spirit of Christmas, allow it to float like fairy dust all around you, allowing it to sprinkle its way into your heart. See how it matches the energy of the life that you truly desire. That space of peace and happiness and togetherness. of communion with everything and everyone. See how that sprinkles down and floats down through all of your chakra centers, through every cell and molecule of your body, all the way down to your toes, moving up through your chest, through your shoulder blades, down your arms, to your fingertips, up through your throat and your neck, all the way up through your jaw, just allowing your jaw to relax, up through your nose and your eyes and your ears and your brain and your third eye, all the way to the crown and out to the very tips of your hair. That beautiful space of communion and the magic of communion, and expanding that out through all of your chakra centers, the ones above and the ones below, expanding that out through your auric fields. And now as you expand out even further, just become aware of the other people on this podcast who are doing this process. When you can feel the bubbles, everybody's bubble of Christmas magic, of that beautiful space of communion that you all naturally, beautifully be within yourselves. When it touches each other, you feel that. Acknowledge it. Smile if you feel like smiling. The softness and the gentleness, the unconditional love that every single one of you be. And now perceive as your energy is now contributing to the other people on this podcast's energy, and how their energy is now contributing to you. That's what we mean by communion. It's not that thing that they do in church. No. This is about the beautiful gifting and receiving that happens instantaneously with people who are sharing the same magic as you. And expanding that magic out beyond the size of the planet, and now beyond the size of the solar system and the galaxies and the universes. And now expanding out this beautiful magic of Christmas out beyond your awareness and out beyond your allowance. Now I'd like you to just put one hand on your heart and just to remind yourself that you are to be present every single moment of the day, all the way through Christmas Day and the days leading up, the next day or two leading up to Christmas, and throughout all the family celebrations right through to next year. And even if you're getting together with friends for New Year's Eve, we'll deal with that more later, but any friend groups that you're in right now, or celebrations, make the promise to yourself right here and right now to be you, to honor you, to honor the space in your emotions, to take time out if you require it, to be kind and gentle with you, so therefore you can be kind and gentle with others. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Take a big deep breath now. And slowly let it out. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. I am incredibly grateful to each and every one of you who have been with me for this journey. I am so grateful to all of you. I couldn't have done this podcast without you. It would be a very dull and boring show if I was sitting here just talking to myself for an hour or two. So I am incredibly grateful to every single one of you for choosing to come on, for interacting, and I wish you the very, very, very best, most happiest, gentle, kind, loving Christmas season. I know it can bring up a lot of energy, and I also know that you have the skills and the abilities to be able to move through this with a lot more ease than you ever thought possible. So until next time, my beautiful ones, be bold, be brave, be you. Go do something tasty for yourself. All right? I really don't mind what it is, but make sure you go do it, okay? Honor you, nurture you, remain present with you. And until next time, bye-bye.